Welcome to What's Brewing with IAT Insurance Group, where episode after episode we cover the latest marketplace trends with subject matter experts who are fueling our mission to provide insurance answers together. Grab your cup and let's settle in.
Hello, everyone, and happy time zone. Welcome to a special episode of What's Brewing. I'm Siri, the Culture and Engagement Specialist at IAT Insurance Group and your guest host for Insurance Careers Month. I'm here today with two key players in insurance. Join me in welcoming Rebekah Ratliff, founder of HBCU Impact, and Megan Miller, CEO of Spencer Educational Foundation. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So before we dive in, let's give our listeners a little bit of an introduction of who you are. So give us your elevator pitch of who you are, what your organization is, and what you do.
Do you want to go first, Rebekah?
All right, so I'll go first. I like your happy time zone greeting, Siri, so I will use that, and I'll go into who we are. HBCU Impact is a 501c3 that exposes college students across the country to careers in insurance, risk management, financial services, and law. The word IMPACT is an acronym which stands for Insurance Mentoring Program Advanced Career Track. Our programs are experiential, from licensing cohorts for agents and claims, annual symposiums, to our Global Impact Initiative. We just took 2 students to London with us last month. We have relationships with more than 50 schools, and all HBCU Impact programming is at no cost to the students.
Amazing. Thanks, Rebekah. And I'm Megan Miller. I'm the CEO at the Spencer Educational Foundation. Spencer was founded 46 years ago to bolster the insurance industry talent pipeline. And what we do is aggregate support from all corners of the industry to attract and prepare students for robust and impactful careers in risk management, underwriting, actuarial science, claims, wholesale, program business, and beyond. If it's in the industry, it's up for grabs. And that's why we're here. For me personally, I was in the industry for 17 years before taking this role 6 years ago. So it's near and dear to my heart. I'm also a Spencer Scholarship recipient before I started working here. So when this opportunity came up, I was really just thrilled to lead such a long-standing and storied organization, and looking forward to what we can do together and our conversation today.
So obviously you both have very important roles in our industry, and insurance can be very broad. I know most people probably think health insurance, life insurance, but we're working in a very different part of it. So what's a myth about entering the insurance industry that you try to tell people or unteach to people, specifically with students as they're, becoming the incoming talent? So Rebekah, I'll start with you because it's Insurance Careers Month, and one of HBCU Impact's ongoing campaigns on LinkedIn is #insurance is sexy. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what that means?
Thank you for asking, Siri. People think insurance is boring. When you talk about insurance, people have very limited understanding of the industry. You just said it. People are aware of home insurance, life insurance, auto insurance, health insurance, but people don't consider the vast, areas in career choices in insurance, in the areas of subject matters or roles. So it's important that we get that information out there. Knowledge is power, right? They think of, health claims or sales when they're thinking of insurance. And like Megan, I am a veteran of the industry. I'm a former commercial claims professional. So I was the investigator, evaluator, negotiator when something happens. The promise, claims is the promise that you keep. And I very proudly was a claims professional for 25 years before I reinvented myself. And I handled matters in most of the 50 states and internationally for global companies. I can't think of anything more sexy than holding the company checkbook. So insurance is sexy for that and so many other reasons. That I was able to use my transferable skill sets to reinvent myself 10 years ago as a mediator, arbitrator, and consultant. I am paying back a debt that I owe. As the founder of HBCU Impact, we get, me and my board, get to introduce students to insurance, the industry, insurance, again, financial services, law, anything adjacent we get to introduce them to options, career options as a career choice. I have a psychology degree from the University of Illinois. I didn't consider insurance. I kind of fell into the industry, and that's the story from a lot of us, is that it happened by maybe a conversation or a mentor or someone in the family who was in the industry at some level and in some role. So there's a great exodus coming up. We want to fill those spots with emerging talent, and the industry has responded by partnering with us. People know what insurance does, but they don't know what insurance is. The insurance and financial services industry supports every other industry. I've been quoted to say insurance is the global recession-proof staple that supports everything that moves. So another one of our hashtags is insurance touches everything.
Yeah, it's so true. And I know, Megan, you had a very interesting perspective as well. So what would you like to add to that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything Rebekah said. We all know that insurance is one of the best kept secrets in terms of a career perspective. And just, one of the reasons why we exist is to open those doors, right? To open the students' eyes to the potential. And we love partnering with organizations like HBCU Impact and like Invest and all these other great organizations to really show young people and people even in other industries, who might be career changing, the whole breadth of opportunity that exists. And, the message that we like to try to get out as well is, in addition to insurance touches everything, is it touches everything, and that's a good thing, right? So we think about insurance for good, and the positive impact it has on businesses, on the economy, on community resilience. Insurance is really there when the worst things happen. But, there's a lack of understanding in terms of policy coverages, right? Maybe people don't understand what they're paying for, what their policy says. So unfortunately, a lot of the times people have a negative experience with insurance. But really trying to flip that narrative and working with our corporate partners to also help them get the message out that this is an industry that does good. It makes the world go round. It makes businesses operate. It makes communities stronger. And really explaining that, and then adding to that just really the incredible amount of opportunity from a work perspective, fulfilling careers, really good pay, decent hours, all the things that you want, especially if you're looking for a corporate type of job.
Yeah, and I'll be completely transparent. I didn't think I'd be working at an insurance company. I didn't know there was property casualty, and so it's been really eye-opening to see the types of projects and types of work that our companies do. And you both touched on it a little bit already. There is an opportunity to have a diverse career path. You both have come from the industry. You worked in different positions. What are some other ways that incoming talent or those looking from outside the industry of what they can do with their careers?
Yeah, I can jump in just quickly and give my career arc just in a couple of sentences. So I studied engineering as my undergraduate degree. I have an industrial engineering degree from Lehigh, and I never thought I would go into insurance either. And I started out as a risk manager at FM. So FM Global at the time, they hire engineers left and right. So I got picked up by them, which was incredible. And now I run a nonprofit in the industry. So I went from engineering through different underwriting roles. I got my MBA with the help of Spencer, pivoted to client management, working on those big Fortune 100 clients, a short stint at a broker, and now running a nonprofit, and never left the industry. So you can really do anything in the insurance industry.
I love that example. And what you're saying, Megan, is, exactly what we've talked about. Insurance touches everything. Everything, really, every other industry is insurance adjacent. I've mentioned that I'm a former commercial claims professional coming from a career of more than 2 decades. And I've seen just about everything from liability matters in auto and trucking, commercial premises liability, products liability, medical malpractice, municipal liability, construction, variety, personal injury, wrongful death. I mean, I interacted with other industry professionals to ensure the promise was kept when accidents happen, when things happen. So there's an interdependency. We want people to understand the interdependency between career professionals and professionals in other careers, personal or professional. Insurance touches everything. Insurance supports absolutely everything we do all the time, all over the world. And so I was able to take myself from an insurance claims position into a mediation and arbitration career, the conciliation part of the world. But I will also tell you that I'm an adjunct law professor at Howard University School of Law. So it enabled me, insurance gave me the subject matter expertise to create the course that I teach. And I have never been to law school. So the point that I'm making, Megan and I aren't bragging. We are making the point for the transferable skill sets that you amass in a career in insurance and what it enables you to do for your next logical step. So, I will say this too, because I think this is special. The dictionary meaning of my name, the name dictionary meaning of my name, Rebekah, is peacemaker. So as a mediator and arbitrator, I'm doing what I was named to do. My claims career, equipped me for this next logical step. And people don't, come into the industry necessarily and stay in the same role the entire time. There are career insurance professionals who move from one role to the next, whether it's claims to underwriting or underwriting to claims, or sometimes they're in legal and they come into claims, or the other way around. So there is a lot of room for people who want to do good. As my friend Megan has said, insurance is that industry that sets things right.
I think you both have done a phenomenal job of painting the picture of what insurance is. So thank you for that very in-depth description. So you have all this knowledge, you have all this experience, and now you're bringing it to your respective organizations. So how are you influencing incoming talent to the industry? There's a lot of attracting factors. So what are Spencer and HBCU Impact doing?
Yeah, so I can start with Spencer. We have 8 different programs that are really designed to do 2 things. One is attracting more talent to the industry, so really getting the word out to students, especially who might not have heard about these careers. And 2 is supporting and preparing the students who we already know are looking to come into the industry. So with scholarship funding, with experiential learning opportunities, opportunities to go to conferences, to travel abroad in some cases. So we really take a multifaceted approach. We have a lot of money that we give away. So this year we raised $4 million within the industry, and we gave away more than half of it, actually closer to 2/3 of it. And then we invested another big chunk of it in initiatives that we run as well. That are really designed to do those 2 things. And so being from the industry, it's really helped me a lot to understand what the needs are, who the players are, and what the spread of career opportunities really are, and getting into all those little corners and pockets of the industry, just so that you can reach as many students as possible with whatever they might be interested in.
Yeah, and I can tell you firsthand the great work that Spencer Educational Foundation is doing, because we could not do what we do without the support from Spencer Ed and other organizations that have partnered with HBCU Impact. As a matter of fact, Spencer and IAT are 2 sponsor partners that make it possible for us to provide the free programming to our student cohorts. I'll mention that I'm known as the insurance auntie on 4 continents. And our students come in every hue, and they know that my board, our partners, and I will do whatever we can to get them internships and employment in this industry. And Megan just made that statement, and I can tell you firsthand that that is the truth. There is a place for them in the industry. We are breaking the barriers of entry for our students to come into the industry and to be developed and to stay in the industry. Our tagline is recruit, period, retain, period, represent, period. So
Period. Mic drop.
We're here. Yeah, back mic drop. Yeah, we're here to do this good work. And we are very fortunate to have the partners that we have committed to the mission of HBCU Impact. So, the next generation is our focus. It has to be. They are the future of the industry. And they will make sure that the professionals in the industry reflect the communities that we serve.
And then that's a great way to think about it. And this is a great segue into I think our final question. You've mentioned corporate partners and collaboration with each other. So let's flip the coin now. So what can employers and companies in our industry do to do more to invite talent into the insurance space?
Well, I was just going to say, work with HBCU Impact. Contact me and ask. I'm on LinkedIn. Contact me and ask for the sponsorship packet, and decide which level you want to make impact. I'll mention our 3 signature programs really fast. Our Impact Incubator is the licensing initiative. Students can choose. Our cohorts are in the summer, usually June, and we let them choose between life agent or PNC agent or claims. And they go through the 40-hour compliance course on their own. So it's a self-study. And then we bring them into Atlanta. Usually it's either Atlanta or Tampa for now. And they go through with instructors, the review, and they pass. And we have licensed young people in insurance who are in college still. And that's a very exciting initiative because we're credentialing them. We also have the symposium. The annual symposium chases the NAIA conference, National African American Insurance Association. I happen to be the global liaison and the secretary of NAIA National. And we will be in Charlotte in September. And we will, this last conference that we had in Philadelphia, we had over 50 students from 17 schools. So again, their engagement with us is at no expense to them. We get them in, our sponsors facilitate our programming, and then we get them out of there, and they are all the better for having an immersion experience in the insurance industry and being able to mix with the world of NAIA as a bonus. It's pre-conference activity. And then the third that I'll mention is Global Impact. I mentioned that we just took 2 students to London with us, 2 outstanding students. I will mention that all of our students are notable. So it's hard to choose for an initiative like that when it's a limited space. And it was an experience where we knew it was going to be special. We knew it was once in a lifetime because they had an experience in the iconic Lloyd's of London underwriting room. And just many experiences around that insurance community in London, which is the center of insurance. But again, we could not do it without our sponsor support, because everything that we do for the students is at no expense to them. So, I just have to stress, in order to make a difference, meaningful impact, we have to have support. We're a nonprofit, and we're proud to be able to do this work. And we believe that we will see a change in the industry with regard to representation, and we are all working toward it together.
A lot of great stuff coming out of that. So thank you. Megan, why don't you go next?
Sure. Yeah. And that's incredible, Rebekah. And what you're doing, that's exactly the reason why Spencer is also funding your work. We're really proud to have our name on what you're doing and to partner with you in that. And to your point, really, the best thing that companies can do is get involved, make donations, make contributions. I mentioned earlier, I see Spencer as kind of an aggregator of industry funding. And we can work with partners in different ways. We can kind of take the funds and distribute them according to our programs. We can demonstrate the impact, but we can also partner on specific initiatives. So if a company wants to fund something very specific, we can match them up with one of our grant requests. And as individuals, just getting involved in these organizations, because we know it takes a village, right? So a lot of the people on the boards doing the work are volunteers, right? So they're volunteering their time, and organizations like HBCU Impact, like all the other partner organizations in the industry, they really need those volunteers to just roll up their sleeves, open up their networks, share their knowledge. So as an individual, there's a lot you can do. And of course, as an individual, you can always donate as well. So plenty of room to partner. And there's, like I said, there's so many different parts to the industry. that you can really find the one that fits your experience, fits your network, fits your background, and dedicate the time and resources that you have to help the next generation.
Megan just made a point. Can I just add something to that? Because I've made a shameless appeal for support for HBCU Impact, but let me tell you why. Sometimes you ask for something, but if you give the why, then people are really inspired. So our work is with HBCUs because students, our beginning focus was with HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. Students there sometimes are first generation college students, and many times almost every HBCU that I know of is in an underserved community. It sits right in the middle of the community. And these colleges were founded because, honestly, Black people were not welcome in mainstream universities, and that's why they were founded. But I do want to make a point. We also do have predominantly white institutions as part of our HBCU Impact Network. Georgia State University, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Temple University, Widener. We have had, I'm missing some names, but Middle Tennessee State University. We do embrace students from all types of colleges, but we're seeking to help students who might not otherwise hear about careers in insurance. There aren't a lot of HBCUs that have insurance programs. Very, very few. There are some. So majors, there's only like one or two. And then programs now, there are some programs at a few HBCUs that industry organizations do support, and curriculum is being built out at some schools. Another point that I need to make is historically, it's been said that talent is hard to find. Well, we are bringing the talent to you. And I will say quite honestly that if majority companies knew how to shop the talent that exists at historically Black colleges and universities and other schools where we seek to find talent from underserved communities, if they knew how to do it, they would have done it already. And we have built a bridge and a template for how to interact with, reach these students, hire these students, and see that students at historically Black colleges and universities are not undereducated. They are underinformed. They are underexposed. So I feel like I needed to make that note, given that this is Insurance Careers Month, to kind of help the majority of people listening to us understand why this is even a mission at all.
And I'm going to bring this all full circle. I have a challenge for our industry because, yes, we're trying to attract new incoming talent, but we're also trying to sell the industry as it is too, because, we can try and get one person in these individual roles, but what are they really signing up for? So we have a duty to sell insurance as a career choice. So I think you both are doing a really great job doing that. And I'd like to thank you for spending time with me today. Before we leave, though, where can our audience find both of your organizations? And you mentioned how they can get involved, but what's a more specific takeaway that they can do?
They can find us on the web at hbcuimpact.org or contact me at Rebekah Ratliff. I am on LinkedIn. Rebekah is spelled Rebekah, the Hebrew spelling. So Rebekah Ratliff or hbcuimpact.org. Looking to hear from you.
Yep, same with Spencer. Our website is spencered.org, so it's spencered.org. Right now, in Insurance Careers Month, we're getting geared up for Spencer Day, which will happen at the end of the month. And it's really an opportunity for everyone who's been touched by the organization to share their story, to create awareness, not just about Spencer as an organization, but about the careers that we help foster and inspire.
All right, perfect. And to all of you who are tuning in, thank you for listening to What's Brewing, brought to you by IAT Insurance Group. Be sure to share, follow, and subscribe. See you next time.
Providing insurance answers together is what we do best. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of What's Brewing. Until next time.